what you got. Oh, I can't see tomorrow. Gotta live, try to get a little wiggle room, the rest don't stop. Quid pro quo, I need the best y'all got. Tryna make $1, flip it like it's vinyl. Tryna make a way. What's it worth to you if the price too high? Quid pro quo, I need the best y'all got. Give me your best. Don't tell me nothing less, cause I'm giving you 100. How you always leaving me with nothing? I'm not impressed. It's gonna take more than this, cause I'm giving you 100. And I don't even know if I can trust you for nothing.
And you can't hear me. How about now? Sorry about that. Good morning. I forgot to unmute myself. I started texting before I unmuted myself. Good morning, Vanessa. Can you hear me now? Good, thank you. So good morning. Good to see you yesterday, Vanessa. As always. Yesterday was a good meeting, y'all. We had a good time, I thought. Really good takeaways for you guys that were there. Good morning, Mags. As you get ready to go to school, give that little baby girl a kiss for me. But no, I think we had a good meeting yesterday. I think now we're 8 days into December. So y'all, this 2023 thing's right around the corner. It's coming like a freight train. And it's a good time. Good morning, Miss Lynn. Sorry about yesterday morning or Tuesday morning, man. I was wiped out Monday, and I don't think I went to sleep Tuesday until 3 in the morning. Just for all the things that were going on. So Tuesday morning, y'all, I was just wiped out. So I apologize for that. Then obviously yesterday I had the Madison meeting. I can't shoot all my bullets in the morning. I have to save some bullets for the in-person live meeting. So sometimes all I get's enough bullets for one day. I don't usually get enough bullets to load twice. But I hope everybody is looking forward to a great Wednesday. Yesterday at the meeting we talked about 3 strategies for your real estate. We talked about some things that you could do in 2023 to get your business going. We kind of built on the 7 tactics that we talked about a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about the 50 and the 25 that we talked about the other day. So all these things are kind of building on each other, and so hopefully 2023. I know it's going to be an absolutely fantastic year for you, for our company. It's going to be a fantastic year for Aaron and Christy, and so I'm just looking forward to this next trip around this next 12 months around the sun. All these little things that we do, however that works, or around the solar system. I guess I'm scientifically inept, but all my flat earthers that'll jump on this morning won't get on me because I talk about the Earth being round, or orbits, and all that kind of stuff. But I digress. So just reminders. Hey, just reminders. Next Tuesday night, the 13th, is the Christmas party in Watkinsville. Y'all, we stopped by last night, talked to the folks there at Chops and Hops in Watkinsville. It's always a fantastic time. It's going to be such a ball. So please make plans to attend Tuesday in Watkinsville. It'll be 5. Good morning, Michelle Tilson. I think we're doing 5:30 to whenever. I think we'll start happy hour at 5:30. I think hors d'oeuvres are starting to come out around 6. We're going to have door prizes. There's going to be Dirty Santa. There are going to be games. Christy's got stuff planned for everybody to have. We're going to have an absolute ball. I think we got a lot of folks coming that are from outside our company. I think we've got a few that are coming from outside our company that want to maybe get to see us in our native environment. So please make plans to attend. If you need some place to stay in Watkinsville. I talked to Melissa Parks about that yesterday. She goes, I don't want to stay in Athens, but stay in Watkinsville. But if driving back at the end of the night's a concern, um, stay there. I mean, heck, I know we got our house for sale in Cusquilla, so I'm not volunteering that, but I would volunteer it if we needed to. And get everybody, good morning, Facebook user. I don't know who you are because I left my iPad at the office in Greensboro. So now I don't have my iPad where I can see who Facebook users are. So sorry. Please announce yourself. But please make plans to attend. I know Watkinsville for some of y'all. Good morning, Teal. Watkinsville for some of y'all is a haul, and I know there's some other things, and there's some inconveniences that you could make up, and some things you could say to justify not coming. But I really, really, y'all, if there's any way for you guys to make it, I'd love for you to make it Tuesday night. So Christmas party Tuesday night, and then Thursday evening, 5 to 7:30, I think, is the holiday open house in the Greensboro office at Lake Oconee. If you guys could get there, we are starting to build some momentum in that Lake Oconee market. We have been there for a while, kind of feeling like we've been biding our time, just kind of sitting back and doing a little bit here and there. But I really do feel like that momentum in Lake Oconee is starting to grow. They're starting to know who we are. I mean, the Lake Oconee Board of Realtors party the other night, that we were obviously being watched by a lot of people in that room, and some with envy in their eyes, and some with probably a little bit of anger, or just because they weren't with us, and some with some FOMO. That was definitely there. But try to make plans on Thursday to come out, and then the Hartwell Christmas Parade. I don't remember when that is. I know we got to do some decorating on the office here in Hartwell. We've heard to put up trees in Hartwell, but the Hartwell Christmas Parade is soon. I don't know if it's next weekend or this weekend. I can't remember. So you get, I'll check with you on that. I put a link in the chat up there, y'all, because this is kind of what we're going to talk about. I'm going to build on this from yesterday. We've been talking about this for 6 or 7 months now. I read something interesting this morning, and I think it's something to, I want to pass it along. I'm cautious about passing it on, because it's hard enough as it is to sometimes get people to look into the future. It's hard sometimes to get people to envision what their business is going to look like, what their life's going to look like, a year, 3 years, 5 years from now. Christy always likes to talk to you about, what's it look like for you, a year down the road, 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road. What does it look like for you? I'm in the process of I've got some ideas down for 2023 for our business, and now I got to fill in some of those blanks. And so for me to look at, okay, what does the business for Aaron and Christy look like 5 years from now? What's Exit Realty Lake Country look like 5 years from now? What do our offices look like 5 years from now? What do we look like at the end of 2023? What's this going to be? And to be able to connect from right now to then, for a lot of people, is difficult. And what I read this morning is pretty interesting, and it's from a professor at UCLA who studies this future self psychology and goal setting psychology, and looking into kind of where you're going instead of where you are psychology. And he says, as a species, we weren't built to do that. So as a species, we were built to be hunters and gatherers. As a species, as humans, we were built to do things, and we're okay planning a couple of weeks. We're okay planning a month out. We're okay gathering food for a couple of months. We're okay to clear some land because we know in the future it's going to be a farm. But for us to look at 2 years down the road, or 3 years down the road, as a species, our life expectancy was only 30, 50 years. So why would we plan so far down the road? As a species, we're much more comfortable looking at the here and now. We're much more comfortable doing things right now, getting the instant gratification from what we do right now, because as humans, we're built that way. We're wired that way. That's how we were created to be. And so some crazy dude like me, who's bald headed and with a gray beard, who tells you, and not Santa Claus, who tells you that you need to look at, a year down the road or 2 years down the road, and you need to connect with this dream or desire that you have down the road. For some of y'all, you look at me like I've got 3 heads, and for some of you, you get it, and some of you jump in there. But for a lot of us, we find it really, really difficult to look at 5 years down the road because we don't know what's happening right now. But part of what we've been talking about for the last couple of days, part of what we talked about yesterday, and you building and you looking at your 2023 and trying to build your business in 2023 kind of systematically and sort of getting back to basics, because I'm convinced that in 2023 the real estate industry is going to change. I'm convinced, but not in a bad way. I think in 2023 the real estate industry is going to change. I think in 2023, how easy it was in 2021 and 2022, it's not going to be that way in 2023. I don't believe it's going to be that easy for some, because for a lot of folks, we, again, in this business, in this industry, we are collections of typically people who've tried other things and it hasn't worked. Um, we're tired of working jobs. We're tired of working 9 to 5. We're tired of punching a clock. We want some freedom. Typically, in this business, in the real estate industry, it is females, women who have either another full time job or a spouse or a partner who works full time, and so that offers them some flexibility over here. And some of you have full time jobs that you're trying to work out of and build a real estate business so that you can be in real estate full time. But bear in mind that in this business, the majority of licenses that are issued in every state across this nation, most of those licenses are issued to people who either A, already have jobs, or B, don't really need a job. They just need something to do. I would say it's the lion's share of the real estate licenses that are issued in every state across this nation, that A and B are the lion's share of those licenses. So but for those of us who are professionals, this is how I mean, this is for us what we do. I mean, for Aaron Dwyer, he clocks in every single day because this is what he does. He didn't have a fallback plan. His life and his family's life and the care of himself and his family's futures are wrapped up in this business. And so my dedication is all in, right? I got to be all in on this thing. But that's not for most people. But in 2023, I do believe there's going to be, and I said it yesterday, I said it before, I believe there's going to be a scraping. I believe the industry is going to scrape off the top some of that fluff, some of that stuff that really never got any depth. Some of those agents who got in 2021 or 2022 and decided, man, this is rocking. I can go get a real estate license and I can go make me $30,000 or $40,000. I can go make $60,000 or $70,000 really quick. I think the industry is going to scrape those away, because what it's going to be in 2023, we're still going to have the same number of units that are sold in the country. We're still going to have. Well, I would venture a guess that in 2023, Exit Realty Lake Country will do better than it did in 2022. That'll be our trajectory. I don't know if our trajectory will be as steep. I don't know if our growth will be like this, or if it'll be a little flatter. I do believe it'll be a little flatter, but I do believe there's going to be some growth. I do believe your business, if you do things the right way, has the ability to grow. So the title of this morning was, and because it was the card we pulled up for the meeting yesterday, it's a Winston Churchill quote, and I love it. A pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity, where an optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. So if you hear the prognosticators and you listen to some of these people that are talking, and some of these folks who work in different industries, they are financial analysts and they were in the stock market, or they are insurance salesmen, or they are on TV and their ratings are generated by creating panic and fury. If you hear those people talk, then you have this cord or this thread that runs through you that the sky is falling and 2023 is going to be a bad year. I'm here to tell you, and I want you guys to join in in this quest that we have to push back some of those fears, because the people that you're going to talk to, they're listening to those prognosticators. They're listening to those people. They're on Fox News. They're on CNN. They're on Bloomberg. They're watching the stock market. They're listening to their podcast. These people are hearing this information all over the place. I talked about a story. I talked about a guy that I talked to this last weekend who's a hockey dad, and he was asking me about the market. And of course, you always hear the tone in their voice, right? They walk over to you and they say, "Man, how's it going with y'all? Are y'all doing good?" Like expecting that Aaron's going to say, "Man, we are getting kicked in the teeth right now. Gosh, it's super super bad right now." That's what I mean. It's almost the tone in that question. They expect me to say something back that is going to justify the tone in that question, like we're doing awful and oh my gosh, this is terrible and oh my gosh, what's going on? But when I don't, and when I was responding with, man, everything's good. We had a great year. We're having a fantastic year and doing fantastic. He's like, well, what's 2020? They get that look on their face. Well, what's 2023 going to look like? Because they've been listening to all those people, right? They've been hearing all these things that are being said. And so they get that little scowl on their face. And he says, so what's 2023 going to look like? I said, man, 2023 is going to be a great year for us. It's going to be a great year for us. And here's why. And I go through some of the things that I shared with you yesterday. I go through some of these things, and we have a company full of professional real estate agents who know how to go out and generate business. Because guess what? You need to know how to go out and generate business in 2023. You're going to need to know how to have conversations. People want information. He asked me questions, and he was asking me those questions because he wanted information. So I talked about this yesterday at the meeting. So let's, and I don't know if you write stuff down on these calls or you just listen to me on these calls or what you do on these calls, but you're going to have to find a way today, tomorrow, next month, next week, to not only be present in what you're doing, be present in your business, clock in, clock out, be ready to roll. Let the go off and the factory be open and you doing your business and doing the things that you do to go generate business. You got to clock in and get after it. Bring your lunch pail to work and be fully vested in doing this business. But you also need to be connected to your future self. You also need to be connected to that person that's 12 months from now. You also need to be connected to that person that's 3 years from now or 5 years from now. You need to be connected to that higher, better version of you that you see in the future. You need to be connected to that because it affects your decisions right now. The optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. Did you know, and I shared this yesterday, did you know that habitually or habits, y'all know my take on habits, that by the time we get to be a certain age, that most of our behaviors on a daily basis in a 24-hour period are all habitual, that we do the same things over and over and over again. We don't labor over decisions. We don't sit and look at our toothbrush and go, man, should I brush my teeth today? It's Monday and man, it's rainy outside and I really didn't wake up in the best mood, and brushing my teeth just feels like the most time consuming waste of time that I could ever imagine. So I think today, heck, I know I'm supposed to brush my teeth. We don't labor over that, right? It's a habit. We know we walk into the bathroom, we turn the water on, do the thing whatever you do. If you're a leave the water on person while you brush your teeth, or you're a leave the water off person while you brush your teeth, think about this habit. How many of you, this is silly, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. How many of you leave the water on while you brush your teeth? Like, so the whole entire time you're brushing your teeth, you leave the water on. How many of you turn the water off? You ever thought about that? Why you turn the water on or why you leave the water off when you brush your teeth? Are you the person that gets your toothbrush wet before you put the toothpaste on? Or do you put the toothpaste on a dry toothbrush and then put the water on your toothbrush? Or are you a person that just doesn't put any water on your toothbrush at all and just puts the toothpaste in your toothbrush? And it turns the water on and just goes to town. Which one are you? You ever consider that you do it the same way every single morning? One of the funniest things, yeah, I mean, because you do. One of the funniest things ever. So I'll tell you, my habit when I brush my teeth, I am a turn the water on, run the toothbrush under the water, rinse it off, put the toothpaste on, a little splash of water on top after I put the toothbrush on, and I turn the water off, and then I brush my teeth. And then when I'm finished brushing my teeth, I turn the water back on, rinse everything off, rinse my mouth out, and then I'm done. That's my routine. The funniest thing to me is that is exactly how Christy brushes her teeth. And when we first met, the first time I watched her brush her teeth, it was exactly the same way as I brushed my teeth. And I went, huh, I mean, dang, ain't that funny? So we brush our teeth exactly the same way. We have exactly the same pattern. But then I've seen other people brush their teeth. I watch my kids brush their teeth and they're leaving the water running the whole time. They flip the water on, they're brushing their teeth and the water's running. I'm like, why is the water running? You're wasting water. That's money right there going down the drain. I don't say that. I do say it sometimes, but not all the time. But Teal says I never waste water. and I'm with you. But we all have habits. We all do it. So it's funny, but now you're going to be thinking about this. Now you're going to be thinking about, you're going to be watching your husband, or you're going to watch your kids brush their teeth. You're going to be going, why does he do that? So it's funny. So we all have these habitual patterns. We all have these things. Which shoe do you put on first? Do you put your left shoe on first or your right shoe on first? Are you one that put your socks on both feet first before you start putting your shoes on? Or you put a sock on and a shoe on? Do you put your leg, which leg? Do you ever look at your jeans and go, which leg will I put my pants on? Which leg will I put in first? Let's see. You don't. So most of the things that we do are all habits. We just do things and roll through these decisions. We make these decisions every single day based on our habitual patterns. That's what we do. Some of our patterns serve us, and some of our patterns harm us. Some of our patterns help us in our day, and some of our patterns harm us in our day. Some of our patterns help us to continue on our path. But I would say to you that unless your habits are built around improving yourself, unless you have habits built around doing affirmations, reading books, doing things to improve your knowledge, doing things to improve your real estate knowledge, doing things like that, we really are in this perpetual cycle of sameness, this perpetual cycle of average. And so here's the challenge: creating new habits. The optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. The pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. And I want you to emotionally process this. If I said right now, if you do X, Y is going to improve in your life. If you would take a spoonful of, let's just say, turmeric, because turmeric's on my mind, and I'm taking turmeric now because I've heard that turmeric offsets the gout. So I'm making turmeric a part of my daily routine now, and it's a habit that I'm trying to instill, and I'm trying to do this every single day where I take a turmeric. So I'm trying to do this every single day. So it's a habit that I'm trying to generate. So I'm speaking from experience here. So let's say I said, if you ate a spoonful of ground turmeric, not going to harm you. It's going to be good for you. And in 45 days, you're going to be 3 inches taller. In 45 days, you're going to be 10 pounds lighter. In 45 days, you're going to make 15 more dollars. I don't know what it is. But if I said to you, if you take a spoonful of turmeric every single day for 45 days, let's just say 2 months, 60 days, if you did this, Y was going to improve. So if you did X for 60 days, Y was going to improve. Guaranteed, gonna happen, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Some of you have such a difficult time making and instilling that habit into your life. One, because it's turmeric, and who wants to take a spoonful of turmeric? So let's take it out of there. Let's say I said, if you ate a bowl of ice cream every single day for 60 days, you would grow 3 inches taller. If you ate a bowl of ice cream every 60 days every day for 60 days, you would have $1,000 more in your bank account at the end of those 60 days. If I said, some of you could jump on that. Some of you would say, well, I could do that. I like ice cream. I'm happy to go have ice cream every day for 60 days. And so you would start, but at some point that habit would stop. And then you would say, well, where the turmeric is concerned, you'd say turmeric is nasty, turmeric is dry, it's powdery. So now you're seeing difficulty in the opportunity. Because I've given you an opportunity to do something fantastic, to change something about your life, but because of the circumstances, because of what it is, your pessimistic mind jumps in and says, that sounds really disgusting. And then some of you on the other side with the ice cream would look at the bowl of ice cream and say, that sounds fantastic. And now you have an open path because emotionally your path is open to doing things that you enjoy doing. Most of us enjoy eating ice cream. So if I said that you eat a bowl of ice cream for 60 days, it's a silly example, but it's true. If I said eat a bowl of ice cream for 60 days and you'll be able to do this, you'd be encouraged by that. You'd be excited about that. And then at some point, when you got through your first pint of ice cream and it's time to go buy more ice cream, you may say, I have to go buy more ice cream today. I'm really getting tired of ice cream. Man, I'm really getting sick of eating ice cream every day. You know what? Being 3 inches taller really isn't worth it to me. Or having $1,000 more in my bank account, it's not worth it to me. And so at some point, we lose the motivation, whether it's turmeric or ice cream. We begin to look at the future and decide if the future is worth it to do what we're doing in the present. So this book, this Be Your Present Self Now, this connection to your future self, what the premise of this book is you being empathetic, you understanding and appreciating who you're trying to become, who your future self is, what you're working toward. And when you show empathy towards your future self, like you would show empathy to your child, like you'd show empathy to a spouse, like you would show empathy to a friend, when you have the ability to show empathy toward your future self, then it drives your decisions right now. And you get out of this mode of looking at the next 30 days. You get out of this mode of looking at the next 30 minutes. You get out of this mode of looking at the next day and a half and trying to figure out and pulling everything close to the vest because you got to go fight tigers today. Or you got to go hide from a saber-toothed tiger, or you got to go into the forest and forage for coconuts and food to feed your family. That's not the life you live now. So as a species, while we're not designed and you weren't designed to look far in the future, we've evolved, I hope, over the last 200, 300,000, 2,000, however long we've been on this planet. I feel like we evolved, and then my job for you is to help motivate you into seeing down the road. Our job for you is to help you see a year down the road, 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road, seeing that person, seeing that situation, being there, trying to envision, trying to put yourself in that spot where you feel it, and then connect that to this so that when I try to tell you, give you 3 strategies to change your marketing, like we talked about yesterday in the Madison meeting, when I give you 3 strategies to try to help your business in 2023, and I give you 3 marketing paths to go to for 2023, you connect that to your future self. You connect that to the end of 2023. You connect that to the deals that you want to do. You connect that to a better lifestyle in the future. You connect that to someplace down the road, and it's like the ice cream. Okay, I get it. I see this. Or maybe it's like the turmeric. Maybe doing videos for you is like a spoonful of turmeric. And you say, man, I'd rather eat a spoonful of turmeric than do a video. Man, I'd rather clean up dog poop every day than put myself on video every single day. But even though I told you if you do video every single day for 60 days, it becomes a habit. And if you create that habit, you're going to make $20,000 more at the end of 23 than you did in 22. If you do video for at least 60 days and it creates a habit, and you're putting your face out there and your heart out there and your words out there, and you're doing video over and over and over again, and you stay consistent with it over and over and over again, and it's going to make you $20,000 by the end of 23. It's going to make you another $30,000 by the end of 23. It's going to help you do 15 or 20 more deals by the end of 23. Some of you are looking at that like it's a spoonful of turmeric. Some of you are looking at it like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can stomach that. Okay, so table that. I'm just telling you right now, those 3 things we talked about yesterday, your Google business profile being top of the board, doing videos every single day, and creating. Y'all been doing this email campaign thing. We've just been doing emails the wrong way. Redoing and reformatting and rethinking your email campaigns. You do those 3 things. You champion those 3 things and make that one habit part of your marketing. That every single day I'm going to do something in those 3 veins, in those 3 lanes as part of my marketing strategy. Y'all, you're going to be 3 inches taller. You're going to make $30,000 more at the end of 2023 than you did in 22. You're going to separate yourself from the other people in the marketplace. You're not going to get caught in that scraping the industry is going to do, where it scrapes people off who just are here to get by. They're just here to suck up the oxygen. They got mama, sister, brother, cousin deals, but they don't know how to go out and generate their own business. And what I'm trying to help you understand, that if you can implement these things not once or twice, but every single day you clock in, every single day the whistle blows, every single day when it's time to go do your thing, you're going to build these strategies into your business in 2023. You're going to build these strategies in your life. You're going to build this connection to your future self right now. Because if you truly believe that you'd get 3 inches taller, or you'd have more money in the bank, or you'd be healthy if you ate a spoonful of turmeric every single day, why would you not do it? It's super easy. Jim Rohn has an example. Jim Rohn I love Jim Rohn stuff. It's JIMROHN. Love his stuff. But he has this little thing that he talks about, an apple a day. If an apple a day truly kept the doctor away, and all it took for you to eat an apple every single day, sounds pretty easy, doesn't it? That all we had to do is eat an apple every single day to keep the doctor away. We could eat an apple every single day to make ourselves healthier. We could eat an apple every day to help ourselves be stronger. It's so simple. But because it's so simple to do, it's also simple to avoid. Because it's so simple to do it, it's super simple to not do it. That's the way nature works. If it comes fast, it goes fast. That's the way this thing works. So what I'm asking you to do now, I'm asking you to see opportunity in every difficulty. I'm asking you to be able to have conversations with people in the public when they ask you how the market's going to be. Ask some folks yesterday in the meeting. Ask them, get into all the numbers are right there. But so many of us in this business, and I'm as guilty of it as anybody, we get in this business, we forget that we're professionals, we forget that we have a license, we forget we have access to this information. And we think that just because somebody can get online and look for properties, or because somebody can get online and go to Zillow or Realtor or Redfin, that because they don't come into the office and look at the MLS book anymore, that we sort of lost our advantage as realtors. And I'm telling you, nothing could be further from the truth. Because you have the ability and the access to all the deals that are done. You have access to tools and technology that allows you to look at specific neighborhoods, specific streets. You're able to look at, we had this conversation with Lainey last night. You can go into a neighborhood and find out where people are moving from. You can go into a neighborhood and have phone calls and figure out where the last 12 houses that were sold, find out where those people moved from. You have the ability to look at days on the market. You have the ability to do all of this analysis and have these numbers. And even if you're not a numbers person, even if you're a high I and you just like having fun, you don't have to know all the numbers. Just know 2 numbers, know 1 number. And when somebody has a conversation with you about how's the market, and you're able to say, man, in my market and where I'm at, and I told y'all yesterday, you never answer that question with a statement. You always answer that question with a question. Why do you ask? Well, we're thinking about moving to the area. That's an awesome, awesome idea. In this area, in this neighborhood, here's what happens. And this is how this neighborhood works. This is how this neighborhood acts. This is what this neighborhood does. There have been 15 houses that have, you hear what I'm saying? So then when you ask the question, you do a little qualification. You find out if they're an investor, a buyer, or a seller. You find out they're asking for their cousin, if they're asking for a friend, they've got a neighbor who wants to live in the neighborhood. Once you qualify their question, then you give them a little bit of information. Being a professional, knowing your numbers, knowing what you're talking about, being able to, there's your advantage. There's your competitive advantage. But I promise you, there aren't enough people in the market that do it. There aren't enough agents in this industry that do it. There aren't enough people who practice their craft enough, who are able and strong enough in their craft or in what they do every single day that they're able to have those numbers. That's why Tom Ferry, that's why all these coaches, pick a coach out, put a coach in, and they're going to tell you, you got to know your numbers. You got to know what you're talking about. You got to be a professional. They're going to use all these different terms that's basically telling you, be a professional, know what you're talking about. I said this to somebody the other day. If you hired an attorney or you go for a consultation, Lord knows, we've been talking to attorneys lately. If you go into an attorney's office and the first time you go into the attorney's office, you sit in their office and they have all these law books. there's just law books, law books, law books, and you see all their degrees on the wall, and on their desk is like they got books that are open, they got notes that are writing, and you walk in and there's this appearance of this dude's got his ish together, right? This dude's going to be good, right? You they have an appearance that they're going to be good. So it makes you feel better about the consultation. Or you walk into an attorney's office and there aren't any books. And there's a cat in the corner. There's a one of their light bulbs are out in the lamp on the desk, and their tie's crooked, and they look all they look like they've been drunk for 4 days, and they're sitting there in the chair disheveled. You're like, huh, you came with really good recommendations. I'm not sure you're my dude. Okay. It's like that in this business. You got to be a professional. That attorney who looks at those books every single day, that attorney who reads the law journals, that attorney who knows the precedents, that attorney who knows what the Supreme Court's doing, that attorney who's paying attention to what's happening with different judges. He has those relationships in those courts. Those are the dudes you need. We're the same way. We're professionals, just like that dude's a professional. Do you want to walk into the doctor's office and the doctor when you walk into his office, all he's got is like stacks of comic books and empty candy wrappers on his desk, and he puts on it, and when you walk in, he's got a picture on the wall when he plays a clown at the rodeo? Or do you want a doctor who seems pretty serious, who knows what he's doing, who's got degrees on the wall, who you can trust and you believe is going to be able to save your life? You think those doctors don't pay attention to journals of medicine? They don't read peer articles. They don't know the latest and greatest tools and technology to help you get better. I mean, if you walk in there and he's sharpening a scalpel on a stone, I mean, is that the dude you want doing the surgery on you, or the dude that's got the lasers? We got to grow. You got to grow in this business. You got to grow in this industry. You got to grow as a person. You got to do the things that matter all the time. These habits that you have, y'all. I'm gonna remind you of this. I'll remind you. I don't know. I don't know anybody on here, but I guess we're really. I'm gonna remind you of this, and I said this yesterday, and I want you to pay attention to this for those of you that watch this later. Creating new habits isn't easy. Creating new habits is the challenge. In martial arts, they say to learn a new kick, to learn a new punch, to learn and master a move, that you've got to throw 10,000 punches. You've got to kick. You got to throw 10,000 kicks. You got to do that move 10,000 times before it becomes habitual, before you can use it in a situation, before you can actually go to that in your mind and say, this is how I'm going to punch. You got to do that 10,000 times. Other schools of thought say it takes anywhere from 21 to 30, 45 days to create a new habit. So let me give you a little. Let me give you a little qualification on this, though, because I heard this the other day, and I think it's super telling. And I'm going to use this along with what I told you when we first started this call. After the first of the year, everybody's going to have these resolutions, and everybody's going to say, I'm going to get more fit. I'm going to the gym. Y'all, I'm telling you, the folks at the gym, y'all, Camelia, Heather, Erica Macklin, all you that go to the gym every single day, I know y'all hate the beginning of the year. Because right now you can get on every machine. There's nobody in there. You can go from ding to ding to ding. You can get done in 30, 45 minutes, and you're out of the gym. In 4 weeks, you won't be able to walk in the gym. You're like Lord of the Flies, man. Y'all be killing each other to get on the Stairmaster. That's my Stairmaster. That's my Peloton. Get on that thing. It'll be unreal. I mean, I'm telling y'all, the fitness industry, they're about to have their bump for the year in the next 5 weeks. Everybody has these resolutions, and everybody has these ideas and these things that they're going to improve in their life. But what we have found, or what I have not found, but what has been found, we always think that people fail in resolutions because they don't have any stick-to-itness. We always think that they fail in their resolutions because they can't create new habits. We all think that the people just have these resolutions, they quit them because of some lack of desire or lack of drive on their part. But what I'm about to share with you is people don't complete their resolutions. People don't follow through those resolutions. They don't do what they say they're going to do because it's science. Creating habits is hard. Creating habits is difficult. If you try to create one new habit and create that new habit over 30 days, you have an over 80% chance of making that habit a new habit in your life. Just one habit. If you try to create two new habits at the same time, that 80% success rate drops to 30%. If you try to initiate three habits at one time, at the same time, and say, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to wear different clothes, I'm going to eat better, you have a less than 10% chance of accomplishing any of the three habits, any of the three things that you're trying to implement in your life. So here's what I'm telling you. I need you to pick a lane. I need you to pick a lane. I need you to pick a lane in your business. Pick a lane in your personal life. Pick a lane in your physical health. Pick a lane somewhere. Drive that habit for 30 days. Let it become something that you can rely on, and then move to the next one. So, over the last month, I've given you the 50 to 25 names to call. I've given you 7 tactics for success. And yesterday I showed you 3 strategies, 3 marketing strategies that you've got to have in 2023. So we've talked about a lot of information in the last month. So from yesterday, just pick one. Okay, I want Google Business, the Google Business profile. That's the one that you pick up. Okay, and the 7 tactics. I have to go back and look at those 7 tactics. But find one of those tactics that resonates with you. Find one of those tactics that you really, really like, because the pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. And when somebody like me says words to somebody like you, i.e., somebody in a leadership position and or an instructor position, gives you things to do that you're not currently doing, you automatically become pessimistic. When I, as an instructor, say, you need to do this, good morning, Miss Brenda, you become pessimistic. And when you become pessimistic, even a little bit, even if you're generally an optimist, when somebody in my position gives you, somebody in your position, an instruction, you are typically pessimistic. There's a little bit of resistance, and I want you to feel that, because I believe it's true. I believe even if you're as optimistic as Teal is, and I think on this call, Vanessa and Lynn, everybody raised their hand and said, yep, I'm an optimist. Yep, I'm an optimist. I believe, yes, we are surrounded in our company by lots of optimists. But we all have pessimistic bents. We all have these little bends in our optimism where when something happens, we lean more pessimistically. Do you agree with that? That there's certain things about our lives, I'll just tell you, mine, I feel like I'm pretty healthy for a 50-year-old, right? And y'all know my when the whole marathon word comes up, pessimism comes out. Okay? There's not much I don't think I can't accomplish. There's not much I don't think I can't do. But when somebody says marathon, my pessimism comes out. And when my pessimism comes out, marathon goes away. So I think some of you, even though generally you're optimist as a whole, when I say do videos, most of you cringe. When I say do more videos, most of you have this little pain in the pit of your stomach that says, I don't like the way I sound. I don't like myself on video. I don't think I can do video. And even if I told you video is going to make you 3 inches taller, video is going to make you $30,000 at the end of 23, you're still going to twinge a little bit in your belly. Your pessimism is going to come out. You got a pessimistic bent toward video. And so then you see difficulty in every opportunity. Because what I'm telling you is there's an opportunity for your business to be incredible in 2023 if you do these 3 things. One of those 3 things is going to make you feel uncomfortable. But because it makes you feel uncomfortable, you get more pessimistic about it. So now you see difficulty in the opportunity. So now you'll do video sporadically to the point that it finally stops and you won't do it at all. If I tell you to get in your Google business profile and you on them and you're like, I can do this, and you don't see anything from it, you don't believe that you're making any headway in that, it'll finally stop. Because even though you're generally optimistic about things in life, there's certain things that you're a pessimist about. And when you're pessimistic about those certain things in your life, you begin to disconnect from that. You see difficulty in that. You push back on that particular thing. You go back to the things that you like to do. You go back to those habitual behaviors. You go back to running the water on your toothbrush before you put the toothpaste on your toothbrush. And you get back in those habitual patterns. And the end of 23 was like the end of 22. And it's the same this year as it was last year. And that's what I don't want for you. If you are in this company and you are not in this company and you are a human being, I want 2023, the end of 2023, to be better than the end of 2022. I want 2023 to look better in every facet of your life than 2022. If you're Shay, I want you to be able to take your mom to Hawaii. I want you to be able to go to Bora Bora. I want you to be able to take your vacation to Turks and Caicos. I want you to be able to buy that Jeep you want, buy that Airbnb that you want to buy that investment property you want to buy. I want you to have money in your bank account. I want you to be able to have money set aside and begin to save for your kids' college. I want you to be able to get in those places, and it's all possible. Every bit of that's possible. The optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. So while the real estate industry is scraping these agents off the top that don't belong, while the real estate industry purges these agents who've gotten in here and thought it was easy, while the real estate industry takes away some of these flashes in the pan, professionals, people who make this what they do, people who every single day practice their craft, know their numbers, study what's happening in the market, know what's going on nationally, know what's going on locally. Y'all, we are the ones, you are the ones who are going to emerge victorious. Because in every down market, if this is a down market, I don't believe it's going to be a down market. I believe it's going to be a different market. I don't believe it's going to be a down market. I believe the last 24 months have been so crazy, stupid, idiotic in our industry. When you're getting 50 or 60 offers on a property, y'all, I don't care how you slice it, that's stupid. When people are spending $60,000, $70,000 over ask price for a property, y'all, that's stupid. But I'm going to share with you a couple of things. The average homeowner has $300,000 in equity in their house right now. $300,000 in equity in their house right now, unless they bought during the pandemic. The people that bought during the pandemic, January to April of 2020, those are the ones that are probably hurting. Let me back up. That's incorrect. The ones that bought January to April 2021, those are the ones that are probably hurting because they're the ones that probably overbought. They're the ones that probably overpaid. Let me say this, because this is something I'm going to share with you, and this is something you ought to write down on a piece of paper. It's something you ought to start working on. People who bought during the pandemic, there's a extremely high, over half of the people who bought in the pandemic have buyer's remorse. They don't like what they bought. They don't like the house they're in. They bought it kind of as a reaction to the pandemic. They bought as a negative emotion and a negative reaction to what was going on with the pandemic. And a lot of them bought out of desperation instead of buying what they actually wanted. So if I were you, in the neighborhoods and the niches in the markets you want to be in, I would go into neighborhoods and I would look at houses that closed in 2020. I would look at the houses that closed from, say, November of 2019 to, say, June 2020, or maybe just do 2020, January to June 2020. I would pull up those houses. I would find those people that those homes were closed, and I would reach out to them and just say, hey, how are you doing? How do you like your house? I saw you bought during the pandemic. Nationally, they say that some folks have buyer's remorse. Are you guys experiencing that? That's the conversation I'd have. I'm telling y'all, there's so many ways, there's so many interesting ways for you to generate business in 2023. There's so many cool ways that you're going to stand out in 2023. And I promise you, Aaron Dwyer and Christy Dwyer, as owners of Exit Realty Lake Country, We wake up every single day trying to find ways to make y'all better. We wake up every single day trying to figure out ways to do things to make this company better, to make you individually better, to make our company better, to get us to the next spot. We do it every single day. As soon as the kids get out of the house, we do it every single day. Sometimes when the kids are here, we still do it. But that is our passion. That is we clock in. Maybe we should, maybe we should take a moment. Maybe it shouldn't envelop us completely. But truly, we care so much about our company. We care so much about you as individuals. We care so much about your families. We care so much about watching y'all. Do y'all know how much joy we get watching y'all on vacation? Do you know how much joy we receive watching you do stuff with your kids? Do you understand that for us? Huh? Do what? Yeah, Christy, she's back. She has the only vacation we get to take y'all's, so we have to live through yours. We get so much joy in watching that, and we because we believe we've had a hand in helping that happen, and we get up every single day hoping to make it better. We want you to we don't want you to go on vacation in the Blue Ridge Mountains. We want you to go on vacation in the Grand Tetons. We don't want you to go to the beach in Panama City. We want you to go to the Turks and Caicos. We want you to get out there because that's what life's about. I don't even know who this person is, but somehow the Facebook algorithms have put her pictures of her vacation on Bora Bora, her and her husband's vacation in Bora Bora on my Facebook my page. I've never had any interest in Bora Bora until 2 days ago. Now Bora Bora is on my list. They brought their breakfast in a boat. They literally had a outrigger canoe and brought their breakfast on an outrigger canoe. That's super cool. That's super cool. So we're almost done. We're done. So here's the deal. Understanding where you're pessimistic and understanding where you self-sabotage and understanding what you do on a daily basis to keep you from reaching, getting to the person that you're hoping to be. It happens to every single one of us. Recognizing that you do that, recognizing when you feel pessimistic about something, recognizing that little feeling in the pit of your stomach when I mention the word video, and you go, ugh, you start to cringe every time I say it. Because I've been saying it for 3 years. I literally have been preaching video to our company for 3 years, and we probably have 10 agents. I'd say 6 who do it regularly, like every day. Every day they do it. We have 10 that 4 more do it kind of sporadically. I'm part of the ones that do it every now and again. I'm getting better because I'm now making it a habit of doing different things with video. So it's getting better for me. But y'all, understanding when that pessimistic bone comes out, understanding when you're resistant to the opportunity, when you're resistant to connecting to your future self, I want you to start to recognize that. At the same time, I want you guys to get a super clear picture of what your business looks like, what your life looks like, who you're going to be, how you're going to walk. Is your hair going to be the same? My hair is going to be the same in 12 months, I do believe. But figuring out what that looks like for you 12 months from now, 24 months from now, 36 months from now, and learning how to connect who you are now and the decisions you make right now and how those decisions affect who you're going to be, who you're trying to be, who you are. Because every decision right now in this book, now that I'm thinking about this, now this book is, again, that's why books are so fantastic, because it gives you knowledge and it helps things pop up in your brain. You begin to, I make connections. I go, that's why I do that. That's why that makes sense. That's why they do this. That's why that person says that. The premise of this book is the decisions you make right now are a result of what you believe your future self to be. The decisions that you make right now are based on who you believe you are in the future. Because if you truly believed your future self was a high achiever, you'd only make decisions that high achievers make. If you believed your future self was going to be in the top 1% of your local board of realtors, then you'd only make decisions that a top 1% person would make. If you believe that you were going to go on vacation in Bora Bora, then you'd only make decisions that people who go on vacation in Bora Bora make. That's the premise of this book. and I believe it's true. There's opportunity right now that you've got to recognize. There's opportunity in 2023 that you've got to recognize, and we're gonna harp on that. And I promise you, I'm beating the drum of opportunity. I have the premise of my company and our company and how I've built this is that we do things differently. That we're different by design. Y'all seen me put that out there. We're different by design. We don't do things like everybody else. And the reason we don't do things like everybody else is because I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to be in that top 5%. I want to be at the top of the mountain. I want to be the one that does it. I want Exit Realty Lake Country to be the one that does it. I want Exit Realty Lake Country to be the one that people talk about, the one they look at, the one they want to be like, the one they want to strive toward. That's what I want Exit Realty Lake Country to be. That's what I want our company to be. That's what I want you to be. I love y'all. Be optimistic today. Find that one habit you can jump on. If it's eating turmeric or eating ice cream, I don't care what it is, but find you an outcome that you can hang your hat on. Find you an outcome that you can believe in. Find you a spot that you can connect to and say, this is where I'm going. This is who I am. This is what I'm going to do. And make the decisions today that are going to make that person happy. Make the decisions today that are going to make your future self excited. That your future self will look back at you and go, that's my girl. That's my dude. That's my guy. Okay. So I put a link on here this morning because in the book, he said this link goes to a letter that you can write to yourself, like a commitment letter that you can write to yourself, when in fact, it goes to a sign up for $197 program. Don't sign up for $197 program. I put the link on the comments before I went and looked at what it was, and you should never do that. You should always read the book before you tout the book. You should always look at the website before you tout the website. You should always know what you're talking about before you put it on there. So I made the cardinal rule of sharing links. So it's asking you for $197. I'm not saying you to go spend $197 with Benjamin Hardy. I do think you ought to find some way to write a letter to yourself in the future. I think that 2023, December 7th, 2023, Brenda Helton ought to write a letter to the December 7th, 22 Brenda Helton and says, hey, this is what it looks like. I think the Aaron Dwyer of December 7th, 2023 should write a letter to the Aaron Dwyer right now and say, this is what it looks like. Here's what this is what it looks like. So get on it. It's a great exercise. And maybe we'll do that at a sales meeting. Maybe we'll write a letter to ourselves. We'll put it in an envelope and write a letter to ourselves down the road, or do this little drill where we're our future self. We write a letter back to where we are right now and put it in an envelope and leave it alone. And I'll put them in a box, and then we'll open them back up at the end of the year party next year. Don't know. We'll figure that out. I'll figure that out. All right, gotta go. Be good. Be great. Be you. And a happy Thursday. Go get them. Love y'all.